Oi, cunts. Butcher's back and ready to talk about me show, The Boys. Got me a fresh duster. And even washed me bollocks for this one, mates. Also, I'm a charter member of the United States Democratic Church of America, or whatever the fuck it's called. Go, Homelander! But also got to keep it to me English roots. Got me old speckled hen once again. Only 3 weeks ago after this one, so let's go at it. I'm Zach Miller. I'm Zach Miller. I'm Zach Miller. That's Martin Cooke. And we're talking about the 5th episode of the final season of The Boys called One Shots. So, Martin, I just want to ask you first off, can you name one way that God's blessed Canada?
Oh man. I can name a million ways. Yes, that was a funny little moment there in the
Yeah,
episode.
as soon as they said that, I was like, oh my God, I have to write that down.
Yeah, no, this is truly God's country up here. Yeah.
So,
So
we'll just get into a little bit of the recap.
after a
This
search,
one's pretty. This one's pretty easy because
yeah.
it's just 5 stories. POV. The boys did something they'd never done before, which is do like a kind of a non-linear storytelling thing, and so we get into the stories of Firecracker, Terror, the dog, Sage, Soldier Boy, and Noir. And nothing really plot wise happens that much, but it also fixed one of the problems that we've been having throughout this entire season, which is that the characters haven't been that well developed. So why don't we just get right into our your initial reaction?
So I actually the whole device of it, the kind of gimmick that they used. We've seen this in other shows and certainly in other movies before, where you have like a singular event and then go back and you start the story from that event again. And in this case, it just happened to be sort of a conference meeting in Vought Tower. But I thought it was a really interesting way to do an episode, and I really liked it in many ways. I'm just confused as to why they're doing it now. It just seems like this is not the right time for an episode like this, where there's only 3 episodes now left in the entire series. And so I'll get into that a little bit later on. But I liked some of the individual stories in these little one shots. I just I just worry about the timing and the overall storytelling for this season and this series when it seems like we should be ramping up to a climax. And then this was just a total detour, like 3 episodes before the end of the series. So anyway, that's just more overall thought, but we can go through the individual episodes and the individual character studies, I guess, and talk more specifically about those and what we liked and what we didn't like.
Okay, for once, I completely disagree with you.
Okay.
I thought it was the perfect time for something like this because the one thing we have been lamenting over the first few episodes of the last season is that first of all, yes, they're lagging and it seems like they're just dragging their feet in order to get to the last couple episodes to the ultimate climax. But at the same time, they weren't really giving us anything to further the character development. And this episode was nothing but character development in all facets, really,
Yeah.
and especially if we get once we get to Firecracker.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Firecrackers episode was by far the best of them, I thought.
yeah, so I think this really helped the overall, um, I guess, pacing of this season, where it didn't really elevate us to the next like plot point,
Yeah.
but
Well, but that's another main thing that we've been lamenting a little bit in this season. So I don't know. It
yeah,
seems like they're kind of stuck in neutral again, even after this episode.
I think I'm okay with it at this point because I just wanted more. like why are these people here and what are they doing and why are they doing it? And you know, especially if we get a POV, like an entire segment from a dog's POV, like we'll get into that. But I
Yeah.
mean that's the way into my heart. So I guess, but I think it really worked, and I've seen conflicting opinions online where some people have rated it like a 9 out of 10, and other people are like, why are we doing this now? But I think it needed to be done regardless of the timing.
Mm. See, for me, this is something that should have happened in like season two or
Mm,
something. Um, and yeah, I just I just thought that it kind of killed the momentum of anything. And some of the character development was quite good, and we can go individually in which ones were better than others. But in the end, there was really only one of those episodes where that character development actually is going to affect what happens in the show. And I
mm.
think you kind of need those things as well. And so 1 out of 5 isn't really great on that front either. So, I mean, maybe 2 out of 5. But, and, you know, one of them is very obvious. Well, two of them, it's very obvious why it's not going to affect the end of the show. And why don't we just start with that one, which was probably the best one, though, and that's the firecracker one. And because we assume that people who are listening to us have watched these episodes, if you haven't, spoiler alert, go watch the episode and come back to us. But the firecracker one was starting to turn her into a fantastic, interesting character. And then she's the killer off at the end of the episode. So just when we're starting to get to know her, it's not like anything that we've learned about her and her internal conflict and all the stuff with her background. It's not like that's going to affect the plot going forward. So, but I did still really enjoy that episode, the firecracker episode.
Yeah, you keep calling them episodes, and that's a good way to
Yeah.
put it because they really were 5 episodes within the one overall episode. And they even the title cards were even placed as such because there was no the boys. It was
Yeah, you're right.
fire. It started out firecracker, and then when I
In the
saw that,
same
I was
font though. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, oh my god! So they're just gonna do a whole hour about firecracker. Interesting, because as we said last week, firecracker finally started to get interesting with her whole like confliction about her actual Christian faith, and then just being totally paralyzed by Homelander's hold over her. So but yeah, so yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, she meets with her old pastor who baptized her, who's just a regular Christian
Yeah.
um
And
pastor.
seems like kind of also looked out for her when she was young, like used to have her over and for dinner and look out for her and kind of almost helped raise her in a way is the impression that I got.
Yeah, it seemed like he was more of a father to her than her
Yeah.
actual father.
Yeah.
So the whole conflict comes when he refuses to accept Homelander as his Lord and Savior, which I do. So
I did think there was a funny little line in there too, though, where she goes, "All you have to do is just pay the franchise fee and join the
yeah,
church." Like, of course, in this world, there's a franchise fee to join the church. That's just perfect.
yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah, they're just so great. It's setting up the whole capitalistic society and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. But so the pastor refuses to basically literally buy into the Homelander stuff, and so she's basically forced to denounce him because every church that isn't converting to the Democratic Church of America is getting raided and destroyed, and everybody's being thrown into concentration camps. So
Yeah,
that's
and
like
she
the
more or less accuses him of being a pedophile on her show too, to kind of destroy him and bring him down. As
yeah.
you know, the tears are running down her face, and the conflict is just so evident on her, but she still does it.
And for me, the thing that hit me most, especially since Homelander does wind up killing her at the end, it was kind of how it was kind of humanizing in a way how people can join a movement, and obviously the parallel here is Nazi Germany and just like the ultimate takeover. And so it's like, well, you're into the movement for the ideas, and then once you really get into the nitty gritty and you find out what you actually have to do, then like the moral people are going to be at the very least a little apprehensive about doing what they have to do.
Yeah.
So I thought that was great, and the fact that she got killed at the end is probably on par for what should have happened. But again, as you were kind of saying, that Firecracker just started getting interesting, and then they kill
Yeah.
her off.
No, I think like as a self-contained story, it actually, as you say, that's kind of a fitting end for her because she goes that extra step. She crosses that Rubicon and sells her soul out to Homelander, and it ends up getting her killed. And so she just destroyed herself and her soul for absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And so I think that does make her storyline very poignant and makes her character very interesting. It's just unfortunate that just as it's getting interesting, we're not going to see any more of her. So yeah, so that was kind of too bad.
And that's one of those things that you probably should have seen coming. I definitely did, because we talked about this a bunch, especially when we talk about like Westeros or the boys. Like if you have like this whole thing dedicated to you and you're kind of a tertiary character, then the end is nigh.
Yeah, yeah. Although they had these, 5 different episodes, so I kind of just thought, oh, that's what they're doing. I didn't expect the main one to die. And then the second episode is the one that you mentioned with the Terror, the dog. And look, I love dogs as well, and Terror is awesome. I kind of thought this story sucked. I thought
Oh,
it was
come
I
on.
thought it was by far the worst one. And maybe that's partly because Terror's obviously hanging out with the boys. And once again, nothing happened. Like
Mm.
the entire thing was just Terror watching either, Butcher and Huey fighting or Frenchie lamenting his relationship with Kimiko again. And that's really all that happened.
Well,
And
you forgot
so,
about his relationship with his toy.
well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Terror dreaming that his toy is actual Homelander. He can take him from behind. So he's constant in his dreams. But yeah, and I think in this sequence, the it is perfectly encapsulated what my issue with this episode was, and that's again we're 4 episodes. If in this we were 4 episodes from the end of the series entirely, 3 episodes now, and there's what a whole scene where Butcher's just there with his feet up reading a book. And
Mm.
it's like, this feels like things should be more urgent at this point if we're ramping up to a finale. And it just didn't in that sequence. So I love Terror. I love dogs, but I thought that was the worst one, unfortunately.
Yeah, again, I think sometimes we're expecting this show to be more than it is. Uh,
Yeah.
but again, it also does that to itself, because it is trying to make all these grand, just uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Um,
Well, I mean,
metaphors, and
well,
just
yeah, it keeps trying to set itself up with all these big societal parallels, basically.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but then it also falls back on a bunch of dick jokes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of trying to have its cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
So I think
And the first
sometimes
3 seasons, though, it managed that balance extremely well.
you're
A
yeah
little
you're
bit less in last season, a little bit less in this season. But
yeah you're absolutely right about that. And so I don't know. I going into the season, I was expecting some kind of like crazy treatise on American society and just how absolute power corrupts, and that time tested trope. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's also been about like, cunts and cum and dick jokes and shit like that. So, and as you said, they've been able to kind of walk that line. But when it comes down to the last couple of episodes, do they want to be like so super dark that it turns people off, or they just want to keep doing the humor and finding that balance? See, I think this episode walk that line very well because again, we're let's uh, let's just get into Soldier Boy then, because
Yeah. And for me, this was the second best one and the most important of all the
oh,
episodes.
totally, totally.
Because yeah, because for this the basically the question that we're answering here in this final season of The Boys is, can anybody stop Homelander? Or
Hmm.
what's going to stop Homelander? And Soldier Boy was one of the wild cards where Soldier Boy maybe is somebody who could stop Homelander. And at times he kind of seems like he wanted to and was kind of getting in his way. Just last episode, you sort of thrown him into a box. I mean, we knew that wasn't going to be permanent, but he did do that. And Sage has clearly been trying to manipulate him to undermine Homelander. And in this episode, he had a golden opportunity and he chose not to do it.
Right.
And so he's basically now fully on the side of Homelander. Or at least it seems like that's the case, going to be the case for the rest of the season. So I think that was the most important kind of decision point of any of the characters in this whole episode. I don't know. What did you think?
Yeah, I agree. Soldier Boy continues to be maybe my favorite character in the entire show, just because the one liners they give him are
Yeah,
just
the bit about
priceless.
Joseph being the biggest cuck in
Yeah.
history
Yeah.
was quite it was quite the quite
Yeah,
the
yeah,
line.
because truth be told, I've actually said that to people. Just when we were talking about Christianity, I'm like, yeah, man, he was such a yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so yeah, Soldier Boy's amazing. They had the supernatural reunion Easter egg, and I had never seen a single episode of Supernatural, but all the girls that I know that were like 14, 15 at the time when Supernatural came out were just giddy over the fact that Jensen Ackles, uh, Jared Padalecki, and Misha Collins were the Winchester brothers and an angel, respectively, in Supernatural, and it was just one of those WB shows that ran for like 15 years,
Yeah,
and
I never saw it.
every like 14-year-old girl loved Supernatural. So I'm sure they were going nuts. And the boys did what the boys do and just myrtleized everybody, which I guess that's a an organic lead into the all the amazing celebrity cameos that we
Yeah, yeah,
had.
and yeah, and all playing themselves and just totally taking the piss out of celebrity culture and how they're all like cutthroat and trying to undermine each other. Yeah, Mince Platts trying to trying to get them to round up Michael Sarah and arrest him so he could get a part. Oh, that's
Yeah, so we had Seth Rogen, who is an executive producer of the show
yeah,
and who last made an appearance on the show as a guy jerking off to um I forgot what her name was, Soldier Boy's ex-lover from the original crime fighting team that they had, and he
yeah,
was on
Scarlet something
yeah,
or yeah,
he was on FaceTime. The boys broke in just as Seth Rogen was about to come, and he jerked off all over the screen. Never one to avoid self-deprecation, that
no,
one.
No.
So, but yeah, we had Seth Rogen, Kumail Nanjiani, Will Forte, as you said, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, aka McLovin, and this whole sequence really reminded me of the movie This Is the End, where
Yes.
they
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
all
Because
played
Craig
themselves.
Robinson also does
Yeah,
show up
exactly,
very
exactly.
briefly. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're all willing to show up for each other and die in the most gruesome ways. So yeah, that whole sequence was just so goddamn entertaining that I didn't really even care about the plot at that point.
No. It was pretty funny. Yeah, and it was basically like an extended sequence of the very first scene in the entire show. But
Mm.
this one obviously done a bit more comedically. It was almost like a, an extended man stepping on rake scene where just when you think that's going to be the end, nope, there's another one, and the exact same thing happens again and again and again.
And all these dumbass celebrities are so just self-serving and just
Yeah,
out for number one. Like
yeah,
especially Will Forte. I think he stole that scene because he
yeah.
was just so fucking hilarious. And then yeah, I forgot what the guy's superhero name. Oh, Marathon Man. Uh, yeah,
Right.
he was like
Yeah.
the predecessor to A Train,
A-Train.
and so he like Soldier Boy would just put him in front of whoever was running to him and just send him and just explode anybody that came his way. And the world in the boys is going to be a lot less funny now that all those people are dead. But
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah. But again, yeah,
And
great episode. And then we get the Noir one, or actually I can't remember the order. Was no the Noir one next? Um
well, Soldier Boy was last, I think, but
yeah, that's right.
we just kind of flowed into
Yeah.
that because we were
Yeah.
talking about Terror. But yeah, we still have Sage and Noir.
Yeah, yeah. And the Noir one was just basically more of this guy who's, Noir, the second Noir as an actor and getting advice from the guy who had directed Dawn of the Seven and had been in some episodes in what the second or season or something. And at one point was a fuckboy of Ashley, I believe. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
he was the original one where she was fucking him in the bathroom and she's like, "Pull my hair," and she's like, "No, pull my hair out."
yeah.
So that's when we first realized that Ashley is a fucking freak.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So anyway, he's now directing plays, I think, because his star's fallen a little bit, and he's directing, Noir, who out of uniform and speaking, and but Noir is all upset because the Deep he still thinks that the Deep betrayed him. So that was all pretty funny. I don't know if it really went anywhere, except that maybe Noir is going to have a bit more of a part to play now in the Democratic Church of America. But yeah, that's about it. It was kind of a fun little segment, but I'm not sure it did too much.
Well, yeah, and the guy got an eel up his ass and
Yes, yeah,
killed
but
him
he was a
killed it.
character that had basically been off the show for a little while, so it's not like he was going to play a major part in what happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he wasn't in the pitch room last week. That was the
No,
worm, right?
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, so he dies from the deep sending an eel through the toilet up his ass and basically tearing him up from the inside out. And I thought it was a great death scene because Noir's holding him in that like classic movie type, like, come closer.
yeah.
My ass hurts so bad. And then he just,
Those are his final words.
yeah,
Yeah,
classic boys.
yeah,
And then lastly, we have Sage
yeah.
and her thing. And the previously on told us about how her grandma was just basically a victim of the system and had cancer, and Sage came up with a cure, but all the powers that be didn't want to listen to a little black girl and just thought she was like cute that she came up with a cure for cancer. So she's basically pivoted from trying to see it all burn down for the fun of it to now she's like all she wants to do is like sit in her own bunker and read books and be by herself and not worry about how what people think of her just because she's smarter than everybody in the world. So she just she just wants to chill.
Yeah,
And
she basically just wants to cause the apocalypse just so she can have some me time,
totally,
which is
totally.
a little dark.
But
Yeah,
again,
so
it works for
obviously
it
like
works for
that,
her character
and
though.
for that to happen, she says pretty clearly, obviously Homelander has to go, and most of the other soups as well. So I don't know if that, I mean, obviously, completely different motives for why they would want it to happen, but I don't know if that puts her kind of on the side of the boys or not. I don't know if there will be some sort of way that she ends up, hooking up with the butcher and the rest of the boys, but it seems like at least they don't have the same motivations, but they have the same goal at this point,
Mm.
or one of the same goals, which is to get rid of Homelander and a lot of the other soups. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, and like how many allies can Homelander afford to kill before either like it's going to happen one of two ways. Either does become immortal and he's not going to need anybody else,
Yeah.
or he kills so many people that they all rally against him, find the V1 and wind up killing him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we only have 3 weeks to find that out.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
exactly.
anyway, so I know from our conversation that you weren't as big of a fan of this episode as I
Yeah.
was, but did you think it was at least a kind of a good setup for the last three, or just no, because it
No,
didn't?
no, no. Like as I said, like on its own as an episode, I thought it was fine. But I just thought that it didn't really act as much of a setup for and kind of out of place. Like last week's episode spent a lot of time with Annie and this family scene and everything and setting her up that, okay, yeah, she's going to go back and fight and be with the people she loves and everything. And then we didn't even see her this episode. So again,
Right.
just kind of lost momentum on that whole thing. And so, no, I liked the episode as an individual episode, and obviously some of those individual parts of it, like the firecracker one, the soldier boy one, the sage, like they were all pretty good. It just, I just, yeah, I didn't think it was much of a setup.
All right, yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I'd even be down for another round of this same setup next week with like another five characters, and then maybe the last two episodes is just like all out carnage.
Yeah, but I mean, they know who has the V1. And this whole episode, I mean, that should be a driving force for everybody. And again, not to harp on it, but we've got a scene where Butcher just sitting there with his feet up when it seems like everybody should be racing to find this dude who has the V1. And instead we get like a one line of somebody looking online on a computer going, no, I don't know where he is. I mean, what the
Mm.
fuck? Where's the urgency? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Again, yeah, at least it was an entertaining hour of
Yeah,
television.
no, again, it was entertaining. I just, yeah, was surprised this is when they chose to do an episode like this.
Yeah, and then we still got Oh Father to contend with his preaching, and we still don't know what's gonna happen
Yeah.
with him. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff still up in the air. Don't know what kind of numbers the Deeps podcast is doing. That's very important.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you next week on Vought Unsolicited. Does that sound good to you?
Sure.
All right, yeah. I'm Zach Miller. That's Martin Cooke, and we'll see you for these last three episodes of The Boys.
Bye, everyone.